It really started when I was in high school. I read an article from the Progressive magazine about how scientists had discovered PCBs, a very poisonous carcinogenic chemical, in mother's breast milk. And this really shocked me and essentially galvanized me to change the way I thought about society. And I realized that that we as a culture, as a society, as a civilization, were poisoning ourselves. I think when I was in high school, I did a lot of thinking about a utopia for the future. And I did a lot of architectural drawings, especially about cities. And the cities all had one thing in common that I was drawing, and that they were self-sufficient, and that people grew their own food in their smaller communities, and there was rail travel in between the cities. And so since a very young age, I was rethinking how civilization could do things better, so that it was better for the environment and better for people. What made them, consideration was what made people happy. And so just a few years ago, I took a series of classes about climate change from a local systems scientist, and started to think about, and of course the film An Inconvenient Truth came out, and I started to think, well, what can I do to make an impact? And started thinking, just about a year ago, started thinking about solutions. Because the film An Inconvenient Truth talked about the problem, and it addressed the problems very well. But the solutions were rather shallow that they talked about, and mainly they were talking about how people could buy things that could make things better, like changing out your light bulbs for fluorescent, more efficient light bulbs, or buying hybrid cars. And to me, that didn't really ring true as being at least sufficient to address such huge issues. I teamed up with a couple of local environmentalists, and we started to investigate what people were doing in Lane County in their own lives, in their own communities, towards being more self-sufficient and more gentle on the environment and be more sustainable. And we found several people that were making big changes, and what they all had in common is that they're very decentralized, oriented towards self-reliance, but also working in their community. It wasn't about what individual households could buy